Hi, my friends. Welcome to Milan, the fashion capital of the world. I'm Matt Young, CEO of Media Mice, and I'm here at the ESCRS Live. This is indeed a live stream because not all surgeons could make it to this conference, and we wanted to make sure that you had an experience of the ESCRS globally. So, without further ado, we're going to be checking out the Johnson Johnson Vision booth. We're going to be having a tour of the Johnson Johnson Lighthouse experience. We're going to be checking out their innovative products, and also we're going to be talking with the Vision leadership. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave that in the chat box, and we'll be addressing that with the leadership at the end of the live stream. Definitely feel free to ask those questions. Now, if you don't mind, follow me inside the booth. Ciao, Milan. Come on in. Well, hi, Mandeep Grover. Great to see you.
Good to see you, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Well, Mandeep, introduce yourself for our audience.
Sure, Matt. So I lead regional marketing for Asia Pacific for Johnson Johnson Surgical Vision.
Wonderful. And I hear that we are all about the Italian spirit of innovation and progressive thinking this time at Johnson Johnson Vision. Tell me more.
We indeed are. And as you see in our back, we have a few faces of very well-known Italian inventors. And these inventors range from various fields, whether it's arts, music, science, technology. And I think the spirit of innovation is something that is very aligned with our Johnson Johnson Surgical Vision spirit, where we are constantly looking for new ways to help make our patients' lives better.
Now, Mandeep, can you also tell me how this year's experience differs from previous ESCRS at Johnson Johnson Vision?
Well, as you know, Matt, every year we focus on bringing the latest, newest products to the physicians as well as the patients. One of the things that we are doing differently in partnership with ESCRS this year is that we are really trying to focus on have our products and services be more sustainable.
Yeah.
So not only good for the physicians and the patients, but also good for the environment and the planet that we live in.
Now, perhaps we should have a look around the booth.
Absolutely. So if you wouldn't mind following me.
Okay, I will do that, sir. All right, Mandeep, what are we doing here?
Well, so Matt, this is an example of how we use technology to explain our features and benefits to our physicians. And this is an example of how we can show, just on one big screen, all the key features that our lenses begin. So if you take the example of Technis Symphony, which you may be aware was the first EDOF that was launched in the world.
Absolutely.
And the key is that we're always looking for ways of making our technology better. So all you have to do is just click on a lens.
Okay.
And you can see the information about this lens being detailed in an easy to understand fashion so that we can have a discussion with a physician while, let's say, standing and enjoying coffee.
Absolutely. Well, this is fascinating information. I do have another question for you, though, and that is, what inspires the company to further innovation in its products in eye care? And perhaps we can answer that right over here.
Sure, please. So, whether you're an artist or a world-leading organization, I think one of the things is common among all of us. That's inspiration, as well as this unending or very strong drive to make a difference in physicians' and patients' lives. So for us, the innovation is driven by bringing some of these unmet needs and, let's say, the insights which we face through, for example, if you look at your screen, you're actually looking at this screen and probably struggling with your vision a little bit.
Yes.
And this is an example of an innovation that we got right behind you, which is Technis Synergy,
Okay.
which is based on the insight that for all of us, the reading distance at which we consume technology, it has changed in the last 15 years. And that is what, we took that insight of that reading distance being closer, and we put that insight into the Technis Synergy IOL, which is key in terms of helping physicians and patients give a solution which they can help them to read at the distance of 33 centimeters, and this was the first lens to help them to do so, and being able to read with a high contrast in any different lighting condition.
I think those are excellent points, and I'd really like to learn even more about innovations that you're focusing on here at ESCRS. So tell me a little bit more, Mandeep.
So Matt, our innovation goes beyond IOLs. As you know, phaco as a technology has been around for the last 50 years.
Right.
And last year, we decided to bring a new technology into phaco that changes the way physicians do phaco.
The Veritas.
The Veritas technology. So every machine that you have out there focuses on the patient. For Veritas, what was unique is that we focused on the patient, exceptional clinical outcomes, but we also focused on the physician in the OR. This machine was designed ground up to really meet the needs of the physician across the world, to help them to have a machine that helps them in terms of reducing fatigue in the OR, whether it's through our swivel handpiece or through our ergonomically designed foot pedal, and helping them to do more procedures and serve more patients while they are in the OR.
Now, Mandeep, you hinted about this earlier, but near vision and IOLs is a very hot topic, and I'd like you to tell me a little bit more about Synergy in particular.
Synergy, if there's one thing that you want to remember about this lens, Matt, just remember 33 centimeters. 33 centimeters is the average reading distance for us, which is, and the lens, the actual reason why we call this the 33 centimeter lens is because patients can read at that near distance, which a lot of us do in terms of consuming media, and they can do that seamlessly in all lighting conditions.
Fantastic. Well, speaking of light, I hear that there's this fantastic J&J Lighthouse. Tell me more about what's happening there.
So the intent of this space, which we call the J&J Lighthouse, is designed for physicians to interact with our technologies in a closed, very intimate environment and ask all the questions that they might have. And so we have a separate space on that apart from the booth, and our intent is really to bring physicians where they can ask questions to our R&D team, do wet labs with our technology, experience how these technologies would work in their practice. And that's the whole intent of really bringing these innovations to the physicians and giving them the confidence so that we can serve more and more patients around the world.
I heard you might be able to take me there, Mandeep, and show me more.
It would be my absolute pleasure, Matt, so if you wouldn't mind following me.
Absolutely, let's go. Wow, busy ESCRS.
Extremely busy. I think this is one ESCRS where we have more than 8,000 delegates who are registered, and we have delegates that are coming in from all over the world. And we expect this is to be our biggest ESCRS ever.
Amazing. Well, here we are in Milan, a sea of people ready to showcase innovations.
This is just the beginning. This is day one. We have 2 more days to go.
Well, let's go to this lighthouse.
Please.
I think I know where I'm going. This is probably the Lighthouse. Yeah, J&J Vision. This must be the Lighthouse. Jose.
Hey, Matt. Hello.
Great to see you here.
See you.
Yeah, well, introduce yourself for our audience.
I'm Jose Spur. I'm taking care of the channel marketing. I'm your host today. And hello to everybody on the side of the call.
Wonderful. Well, Jose, I take it here that you're going to tell me a little bit more about this Lighthouse experience. What can you tell me about it?
Well, we have this dedicated space that we do for doctors into the Congress. So we can offer a great personal experience where we can showcase and they can interact with our products and our different technologies, but also talk to our people in a way they cannot do at the booth or in the day-to-day.
That's fantastic. Well, I understand, J&J has not only embraced innovation in products, but also how it shares information with people. So why is that so important, would you say?
Well, because I think at the end of the day, with all this technology that is happening, all this connection like the one we have now, although it's very important, nothing is better than the personal touch. And we want to make sure we give that and provide that personal touch with the different customers around the world. And unfortunately, we can do it for you, but we hope next time you can join us too.
Absolutely. Well, one important topic that I know you want to share with us about is the sustainability efforts at Johnson Johnson Vision. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, at the booth, certainly we want to make sure that we not only do a great job with our customers here, but we have something bigger. And in this case, we are going to take care for the planet. And for that, our facilities, in this case, for example, the booth, has been already used in the past.
Okay.
That's why it has some scratches, but it's great. Will be used in the future, and it's done by recyclable materials. And also, finally, all the electricity that we're using to light up those screens that we have, so we don't have any paper, all the electricity is being offset in order to compensate the CO2 emission that we are doing while we showcase our products and technologies on screens.
Well done, good sir.
Thank
well
you.
done.
My pleasure. Welcome.
Now, I understand you've got a great coffee set up, and I'd like you to take us to that. So
Of course.
Perhaps we should have a coffee.
Come over. I'm going to show you the Visionaries bar. Come over.
All right, great. We're just live right now.
Come, Matt, look.
Little coffee at the bar here.
It's our move. It's our move. It's our move. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're here at this great
Here's the
coffee bar.
Visionary. Yeah.
What's this concept all about, Jose?
Well, I don't know if you can see from my back. On the back, we have great Italian figures because we have the concept of Italian innovation,
Right.
Innovazione Italiana, and that is because we want to inspire ophthalmologists from today on those iconic Italian figures to partner with us for the future of ophthalmology. What will it be for the next Michelangelo? How would an ophthalmologist Da Vinci look like? And if there's one there, we want, if you're listening to us, we want you to partner with us to set the future in ophthalmology.
Well, that sounds all fantastic. And I know that I think Charmaine is waiting over there
I'm
for
just
us.
in here. Hey, Charmaine, come on, let's go meet her.
Okay, okay.
Hi, Jose. Thanks.
You're living with Matt.
Charmaine, great to see you again here. This is my good friend from the Asia Pacific region. Can you
Yeah.
introduce yourself for our audience?
Hi, Matt. Nice to see you in Milan. So I'm Charmaine. My name is Charmaine, and I'm the regional product manager from Johnson Johnson Surgical Vision.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, Charmaine, can you firstly please describe briefly the Technis Eyhance for us?
Yes. So I'm so excited to tell you more about the Technis Eyhance. The Technis Eyhance is truly the revolutionary IOL that truly enhances intermediate vision, especially at 66 centimeters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what makes Eyhance different from other monofocal IOLs?
Well, Eyhance enhances the intermediate vision, but other than that, everything else is the same as a monofocal.
Okay.
So firstly, what we have is that it has the same 20/20 vision, distance vision like a monofocal IOL. It also offers the same photic phenomenal profile like the monofocal IOL, and it has the same contrast, especially in dim light like a monofocal IOL. So everything like the basic monofocal, but enhances intermediate vision. So it truly exceeds expectations.
I think that sounds fantastic, and I'd also like to know what patients are the best candidates for this product?
Well, Matt, great question. So actually, every patient who is suitable for an aspheric monofocal IOL would be suitable for the Technis Eyhance.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
And you know, Charmaine, if you remember, at the APA-CRS 2022 in Seoul, I had a chance to sit down and talk to Dr. Oliver Findle, who of course is the ESCRS president, and we talked about how he chose the Technis Eyhance to become his go-to monofocal IOL. We've got a little film about that conversation, so let's go ahead and roll that tape.
So the lens is not just a monofocal lens, but it's what we call monofocal plus or enhanced monofocal. So you will not be able to discriminate that lens from the standard monofocal lens. They look exactly the same. But when you look at a power map of the lens, what you do see is that in the center there's a little more power. It will increase what I call the landing zone. So that means defocus curve is a little broader. You know, even if you're like quarter of half a diopter off, in minus or plus, the patient still has very good unaided visual acuity. You know, we started, I think it was nearly 4 years ago, and so we've now implanted something like 18 to 19,000. That's my estimate. And again, we have a lot of patients who have comorbidities. You know, we see the whole variety of patients with all these other issues, but we use the lens and we have not seen any drawbacks. The outcomes, you know, I mean, as I said, is a little more than you would expect for a monofocal lens, a standard monofocal, because you have more patients with good unaided visual acuity. And again, quite a few patients, especially if you hit emmetropia, that means the biometry and power calculation is good, who actually have pretty good intermediate vision. So that these patients really, I think the spectacle independence for distance is simply better, is more.
Well, I really appreciated those words by Dr. Oliver Findle. And Charmaine, I understand we have some other IOLs to check out here. Maybe you can walk me down the line.
Sure. Sure, very happy to.
All right, let's go.
So here we have Matt, the very first EDOF that was launched in 2014 called Technis Symphony. Yep, and let's take a look at the latest presbyopia correcting IOL from Johnson Johnson Vision.
Okay, let's go. Great, now can you please briefly describe the Technis Synergy IOL?
Absolutely happy to, Matt. So this, Matt, is the Technis Synergy IOL, and it is the latest presbyopia correcting IOL from Johnson Johnson Vision.
Okay.
So it offers the widest range of vision as compared to other leading trifocal IOLs, but offers as well the best near at 33 centimeters. So yeah, Matt, what do you want to know more about the Technis Synergy?
I'd really like you to describe some of the benefits of this advanced technology in a little bit more detail.
Sure. So Technis Synergy is created by combining the design of the Technis Symphony, the EDOF design, and also the multifocal IOL design to allow this range of continuous vision of more than 20/25 VA and above from distance all the way to 33 centimeters, which is actually a very important distance for us.
That sounds great. And I know that we have a little activity that we're going to do now. It has to do with a laser. Can you tell me more about this?
Sure. Before I go on to demonstrating the laser, maybe would you like to know more about the 33 centimeters and why is it important?
I think we can do that right after the laser.
Sure.
Let's do the laser first.
Sure. So yeah, this is the laser range finder. It is actually a digital device that can help measure the distance electronically. So I'm going to try to put this on.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yep. So if I put this on and it has centered at my eye.
Okay.
And if I were to hold up my mobile phone and look at the laser pointing onto the screen and just press the button over here, it will measure the distance from the laser to my phone.
Ooh, I see that laser right there. It's coming out right here.
So yeah, Matt, this is my reading distance for my mobile phone.
28 centimeters. Let's see if we can see that at all. 28 centimeters reading distance.
Yeah, for my mobile phone.
Okay, fascinating. Well, here you go. Thanks for sharing that with me. And why is this near vision of, let's say, generally 33 centimeters important?
Yeah, Matt, thank you for asking. So firstly, a study has shown that people tend to hold their digital devices like the mobile phone closer at a distance of averagely 33 centimeters. And you know, back in the region where I'm from, Asia Pacific, you know, Asians tend to be a bit more shorter in stature, in height, and therefore we also have shorter reading distances because our arms are anatomically shorter. So another study has shown that for Asians, the reading distance is actually held at about 33 centimeters as well. So especially having good near is very important, as also Asian characters tends to be more blockish and characters are more tightly spaced together. So the reading demand for Asian scripts would actually be higher than reading an English script.
Well, that's fascinating. Can you finally describe, you know, what patients overall are really good candidates for the Synergy lens?
Sure. So any patient who is suitable for a presbyopia correcting IOL and who is also motivated to have increased spectacle independence would be a good candidate to consider Technis Synergy for.
Fascinating. Well, Charmaine, once again at APA CRS in 2022, I also had the chance to sit down and speak with Dr. Pham Han Bor to learn more about the clinical experience with the Technis Synergy. We've got a little film of that as well, so let's go ahead and roll that tape.
Most Asians, first and foremost, East Asian especially, we are quite short-sighted. If you look at the characters of the East Asian, especially the Chinese, they are blockish. There's a lot of strokes inside, so you need a very good resolution to pick up those things. With the Synergy, there's a continuous range of vision. You can get good vision all the way from far to near. That means you can see at any range, at any distance, as long as about 30 centimeters onward, clearly. If we look at Visual outcome, we're always talking about 6/6 or 20/20 vision. Anything better than 20/40 or 6/12 we consider good outcome. But if we look at Technis Synergy from 33 centimeter, 30 centimeter, all the way to far, Technis is able to give you 6/7.5 visual outcomes all the way. Now this is fantastic. You don't have to walk so much. You can see it from near to far. And for the glare and halos at night, it is actually mostly tolerable by my patients.
All right, well, great interview indeed. And I'd like to say that it seems like I'm hearing more about astigmatism correction these days. And so I'd like to know more about the Toric 2 platform, Charmaine. Can you tell me?
Sure, Matt, happy to. So as you can see, it's on the wall. Technis Toric 2 platform is across all our IOLs, such as the Technis Monofocal, the Technis Eyhance, Symphony, as well as Technis Synergy. The Technis Toric 2 platform actually has a frosted squared edge haptic, and that actually helped to reduce and increase rotational stability and reduce the rotation of the lens. So what we have seen is that 100% of surgeries at 3 months had less than 5 degrees of rotation. And at 3 months post-operatively, it has shown excellent mean rotational stability at 0.94 degrees.
That's fascinating. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention about this innovative design?
Yeah, Matt, if you would like to learn more, actually we do have a symposium happening today at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, in one of our halls in the ESCRS Convention Center that talks about the locked-in visual performance with Toric IOLs. And there is a distinguished panel of KOLs who will be talking about this.
I think that's 1300 time in Asia Pacific, but wonderful, great to hear it. Now, I would like to also know what else can surgeons turn to learn more about the Toric 2 lens if they want to learn more about outcomes with patients, especially related to astigmatism. Any other resources out there?
Yeah, so I'm happy to reach out to us to find out more about it. Well, we do have also videos as well as specification sheets as well as published papers that actually highlight the rotational stability of the Technis Toric 2 platform. So happy to share all this with you, Matt.
Well, Charmaine, I've learned so much here about Johnson & Johnson Vision's dedication to innovation. Thank you for sharing so much. You know, for example, I've learned about the Eyhance and monofocal IOLs where outcomes really exceed expectations oftentimes. You've also got Synergy with spectacle-free capabilities and a really wide range of continuous vision. Congratulations on that. And finally, the Toric 2, where we're really talking about astigmatic patients and treatments for that, as well as even in low light conditions. So lots of learnings here today in this wonderful Lighthouse. Thank you again, Charmaine, for all of that.
Sure, happy to share all this with you, Matt.
Well, if you're here at the ESCRS, you should definitely check out the Lighthouse, the symposium that Charmaine mentioned, these innovative products from Johnson & Johnson, and I think I'm off to meet your friend Hannah now.
Sure, the floor is all yours, Matt.
Thank you. Red carpet.
There.
Woo.
Yes.
Cheers. Bye.
Yes, bye.
Oh, this Lighthouse is fantastic. I think I'm going to head for great coffee later on. It's got to be wonderful in Italy, no? All right, well, here I am with Hannah Howard.
Hello.
Great
Hi,
to see you
Matt.
here.
Hi, great to see you. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, my pleasure. Now, Hannah, would you be able to introduce yourself for our audience here?
Sure, happy to. So my name's Hannah Howard, and I'm the Associate Marketing Director for Equipment for our Asia Pacific region.
Okay, fantastic. Now, Hannah, we're at this glorious machine, the Veritas.
Yes.
Can you tell me how this simplifies or makes cataract surgery even more efficient for surgeons?
Absolutely. So with Veritas Vision System, what we wanted to ensure was that the surgical day got easier.
Right.
So what we're providing is true ease, total control, even in the most challenging of cases.
Okay, fantastic. We know that maintaining the anterior chamber stability is critical.
Yes.
And so what can you tell me about the hybrid fluidics technology?
Absolutely. So with the hybrid fluidics technology, what we're aiming to provide is less surge, more stability. So the hybrid fluidics technology is encompassing the proprietary advanced tubing system, as we can see here.
Okay.
So with this, we have two types of infusion, so pressurized and gravity, therefore providing that complete flexibility and customization.
Okay, fantastic. Now, how does Veritas perform in challenging cases? That's what I'd like to know. For example, dense cataracts.
So absolutely, great question. So with dense cataracts, we've combined elliptical ultrasound and also white star technology, which means that we can glide through any lens density, even in the dense cataracts. And of course, we have the dual pump system.
Okay.
So that means that doctors have the choice of either pump for every step of the lens extraction process.
Very good. Some additional components that I understand help improve efficiency and control are available. Could you mention some of those?
Absolutely. So one of the key things we looked at with Veritas was the surgeon experience.
Okay.
So we wanted to make sure that we were optimizing their surgical experience and thinking about how they feel throughout the procedure, reducing fatigue and improving comfort.
Right.
So first of all, I wanted to introduce the industry first Sphacos swivel handpiece that you can see here.
Wow.
So with this swivel handpiece, what we provide is up to 220 degrees of rotation at the distal end, whilst the proximal end remains stationary, and so that reduces the torque from the tubing. Do you want to have a feel?
Yeah. All right.
Like a pen.
Better than a big pen, that's for sure. All right.
Thank you. And then also what we have now is a Veritas foot pedal.
Okay.
So this has been designed to improve foot position, and we also have the optional heel insert.
Okay.
So this means that it's better for the heel balance and foot positioning throughout.
Amazing. I feel like I want to put my eye shoes right on there. That looks incredible.
It does look nice, yes.
All right. Well, now beyond the clear advantages of surgical efficiency, how has this system also incorporated surgeon-centered ergonomic design, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And so what we've been told is that through these various new features that we've introduced, the swivel handpiece, the foot pedal, with the advanced tubing system and the options of that customization and flexibility, that overall the whole procedure has just become easier for doctors. So all of these things, improvements in ergonomics, etc., means that, the surgical day just got easier.
Well, everybody can get behind that for sure. Yes. Now, anything else new on the equipment side of things that we should note?
Well, Matt, that's a great question, but like Chris said to you last time, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
Oh!
But there are loads of great updates coming soon, so do stay tuned.
Yes.
In fact, there's a great symposium tomorrow at 1 o'clock here on Sunday, Advancements in Refractive Surgery. So stick around for that, where you can learn a lot more.
Wow, that sounds not so revealing, but very mysterious and interesting.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Now, is there anything else that you'd like to say before I mosey along?
Absolutely, Matt. I'm not going to let you go yet. First of all, I'd love you to stick around and watch a Veritas video so we can showcase the system in all its glory.
I'll do that.
And then I know you're heading over for your fireside chat with the leadership team, so enjoy.
Thank you. I will heat up in the meantime.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right, my friends, well now I am here with some incredible gentlemen from the Johnson Johnson Vision team. we've got Warren Faust, the worldwide president. We've got Christoph Van Weiler, the regional vice president of Asia Pacific, and Adam Toner, director of R&D, Johnson Johnson Vision. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
All right, everybody's looking dapper in Milan. That's the way to be here in the fashion capital. So excellent, excellent. Now, guys, I would like to just note that we've got a huge audience going on. You know, out there in India, there's even watching stations at different hospitals. We've got a wide audience throughout China, Asia Pacific, and throughout the globe. So this has been a really incredible experience for me, and I'm glad you guys could join.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's an amazing experience. You look fantastic for Fashion Week as well.
Thank you, sir.
It's tough to sit next to him, isn't it? But it's wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, you know, today we know that from global strategy and sustainability efforts, innovative products and devices, Johnson Johnson Vision has it going on here in the Lighthouse and well beyond for sure. We're going to be discussing those aspects as well as opportunities in Asia Pacific, how the industry and ophthalmologists can come together, deliver better patient care, and improve outcomes. So let's go ahead and get into it. But actually, I've got to ask, Warren, what's the best meal that you've had here in Milan so far?
Oh, everything's been great so far, but
Yeah.
simple is best, and the pizza, just the margarita pizza, glass of wine's been amazing.
Awesome. I'd have to say panini in the railway station, but that's just me. So, Christoph, what have you enjoyed here in Milan?
The coffee, first of all, is probably my favourite meal. But no, look, the conference has been amazing. Our EMEA team's done a great job. ESCRS themselves have done a wonderful job to organise this, and to see so many old friends, which we haven't been face to face with for a long time, has been really wonderful. Plus, of course, a chance to showcase all the great new technology we have. So it's been a really great meeting so far.
Absolutely. And Adam, how do you feel about your experience here in Milan?
I'm super excited. I love meeting and talking to new surgeons, so bumping into folks, seeing their presentations, seeing their sessions, super fantastic, really excited to be out here.
That's great. Well, I'm going to start the meat of the interview here with Warren asking, you know, can you share a little bit more about what the J&J Vision team has been up to lately?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. First of all, there's a lot going on. I think we can all attest. Johnson & Johnson for the last 130 years has been establishing their name as the trusted healthcare company in the world, maybe the most trusted, and certainly J&J Vision plays our key role in that.
Yeah.
Think about our ability to just invent a new platform. When you think about Technis, 21 years now, the Technis brand, helping our customers to deliver outcomes for patients. When you think about being able to establish an entirely new product line that can take something like EDOF and turn extended depth of focus into a category. So establishing new categories and then elevating both of those things, both categories and products. We're excited about that. And the rest of the world, our customers are telling us how excited they are about things like Technis Synergy, which is delivering the widest range of continuous vision, but importantly, delivering on that That innovation has changed our company's trajectory. I'm excited about that. Veritas Vision System, our new phacoemulsification system, it offers chamber stability, it offers customer experience that they really, really like, and safety and comfort are important. And then when we think about the future, we've been spending a lot of time on the future.
Yeah.
Investments are critical to us, investments in our refractive platform.
You all are very much into that, but could you describe that a little bit further?
Yeah, listen, I'll be happy to. J&J Vision is on this mission to restore healthy sight for life. That's our goal. But we're also heavily committed to things like the environment and sustainability.
Yeah.
And I probably put it into 3 buckets, I would say. This is a huge company with a big commitment, but I believe we can do it. Certainly Vision plays our role in that, so we're excited about that. Think about the amount of packaging that we use, and if you stop using so much secondary packaging as an example, that has downstream impact of shipping costs, fuel costs, energy utilization. If you can reduce that energy for all of those different things, you reduce your carbon footprint. 42,000 tons of carbon emissions we've been able to reduce on an annual basis.
Wow.
100% of the energy that's used in our North American and our European plants is renewable electricity. So this is important. So that's the first one. And then the second one I would say is waste. Related to that, imagine plants and offices around the world and how many boxes and cartons and packages and plastics, reducing that waste to make sure it doesn't end up in our rivers and in our streams. Making sure that we are committed to that is important, and we are. And so we've been able to do that. Even our Groningen plant, zero waste to landfill at this point, which is something we're proud of. And then the last is simple, it's protecting our natural resources, renewable sources of paper, because we have to use paper. We're trying to use less. Negotiating with regulators to make sure that we can use electronic directions for use instead of paper. We can't do it in every market, but we're working through it with regulators to be able to do it. So those are just some of the commitments, and the future is really bright in how we're approaching this.
Well, it's a lot more than just reusing hotel towels, so congrats for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, well, over to Christoph. Hi, sir. I would like to ask you about Asia Pacific, where we're both based. It presents a tremendous opportunity, but I'd really like you to tell more about your plans for the region there.
Yeah, no, look, as you would know, it's, in my opinion, it's the most exciting region to be part of. It's just so fast-paced. There's so much opportunity, but it's not one thing, Asia, right? It's a very diverse set of markets, diverse set of patient groups that we've got to serve. So, you know, on the one hand, I still feel there's a huge unmet need to prevent blindness. As simple as that. Preventable blindness is still a real challenge for us in the Asia region. So
I'm going to plug Orbis right there. You know, it's a great program in preventable blindness. It's incredible to work on efforts like that.
Exactly. So, you know, we feel a great responsibility as part of the eye health community to play a role there, whether it's, you know, supporting, you know, NGOs like the Himalayan Cataract Project and other local projects around Asia, but also in how we train and build healthcare capacity and strength within those markets. So that's a big job which we feel we're making progress, and we want to do a lot more.
Yeah.
On the other side, though, Asia is also, you know, within our business, we sell the most number of premium lenses in Asia, which surprises some people, but there's a huge demand for the new innovations and technologies which a company like J&J can deliver. And so, you know, all those wonderful products that Warren mentioned, what's on the horizon, which he didn't mention, is equally exciting. You know, we have a great opportunity, but also responsibility to work with eye care professionals, payers in the Asia region to give access to as many people as possible to those great technologies. So that's, you know, in a nutshell where we see the opportunities at both ends of the spectrum, but it's exciting, and there's so much we can do.
It sounds like it's not just a growth market in Asia, but a major market, so it's great to hear after all these years how well it's developing there.
Absolutely.
All right, now, what do you really think is going to be very impactful in the next few years in Asia Pacific? You know, how can the industry continue to work together with ophthalmologists in the region to improve outcomes as well?
Yeah, no, look, and it's a great question. And look, at our heart, as Warren said, we're 130 years. It's 130 years because we're an innovation company. You know, that's our major contribution to the eye health world is to continue to innovate and bring forward new technologies. So, you know, as I mentioned, in addition to all those wonderful products Warren just mentioned, which we're now launching, on the horizon is another wave. And if anything, for me, the pace of innovation is getting faster.
Yeah.
So our next horizon of growth and also provision of service of ophthalmology in Asia is going to continue to move at a faster and faster pace. I think digital is a big part of that, so not just opportunities like this to use digital technology to bring ESCRS to more people, but how we use technologies in AI and machine learning into our products to really drive better clinical outcomes and better patient outcomes. So I actually think it's going to be a very exciting period of growth the next few years. We can't do that without collaboration, so that's why meetings like ESCRS are so important, where we have opportunities for people like Adam to spend a deep amount of time with our customers, to get feedback on unmet needs, feedback on our current technology, feedback on our pipelines and areas of focus. And that's how we'll work together in order to bring the best innovations to our eye care practitioners and eventually to patients.
Fantastic. Now, Warren touched on this a little bit, but could you also talk about the purpose that drives J&J Vision to keep developing new innovations to address unmet needs?
Look, absolutely, and you know, going back to what I said earlier about preventable blindness, I mean, it really is challenging to think that there's still people out there who could prevent going blind. And if we can play a role in that actually is very meaningful to us as a company. And beyond a company, we're a group of people. We have family with eye health challenges, just like most people do. So, to feel we have a part to play in that, and it's one part of a community effort from everybody in our eye care community, is very rewarding for us, and it gives us a great sense of energy. So for all the eye care practitioners out there who share your stories with us of how either our lenses or our technology have led to a great outcome, whether it's Warren and myself and Adam, or it's our teams in research and development or manufacturing, that's actually really meaningful for us. It really gives us a lot of energy to push ourselves. How do we continue to make our contribution to better technology, better innovations to help serve patients?
Thanks for sharing, Christoph. That's wonderful. Now, Adam, you're all the way down there, but we're not going to leave you out of this. I am so excited to hear about the innovation journey for Veritas, and I know you know a little about that, so tell us more.
Yeah, so we've been on that journey quite a bit, and obviously it starts out with super sound science and engineering fundamentals, but where the magic really happens, like Christoph was saying, is getting engineers into the operating room so we can see the patient journey, we can see what they go through, what they're living with, and then also optimizing it for our surgeons and their staffs. So I love being in the OR, and the folks on my team love getting in there and seeing how we can innovate, how we can make things easier for the staff, how we can make the outcomes better for the patients. We love hearing the stories that patients bring back to us when the performance was fantastic and it's changed their life and they can see things they could never see before. Yeah. Restoring that vision of youth. We love hearing those stories. And it's bringing that back into our engineering facilities, into our labs, and then developing new prototypes. And with those prototypes, we bring surgeons and nurses back in, and they actually help us during the development cycle to confirm or help steer us in the right direction for those new technologies. And then, like Christoph said, coming to conventions like this so we can see our products launch, we can see our products in the field, and hear what to do next. Hear the unmet needs, hear the things that we can use for continuous improvements. It's perfect, and that really keeps us going. You can tell my excitement, it keeps us going in R&D.
Yeah, you're really lit up. I really appreciate the passion there, Adam. And I've got to ask also, from finding the need from surgeons to creating the product, what's that process like? It's got to be really interesting.
Yeah. So the observations are critical there to see the way people are using equipment and performing the procedure and see things that just aren't quite right or could be better. So you get a chance to look at the Veritas system and its new handpiece and the foot pedal and the ergonomics and the user interface. And we're really good at noticing things that should be better and could be better. And things that surgeons and nurses and customers don't even know yet that we could help them improve. And then we can merge, like I said, the science and the engineering, and really the magic is showing them that prototype. And the first time they put the swivel handpiece in their hand and they say, wow, you've got something here, and then fine-tuning it and getting that product launched, that's really, again, where the magic happens.
Well, obviously J&J focuses on surgeon-centered design. Is it true for that guy right over there, the Veritas machine as well?
Very much, right. So at every point in the development, we focused on not only the surgeon, but also the staff around them. Enabling them to do the surgery quick, safe, efficient, and finding ways to all those little nooks and crannies where we can make things better for them. And then bringing the surgeons back in, and they're constantly telling us what we can do to be better. Totally centered on the surgeon.
So is there any example of specific surgeon insight that you really use to develop that product? Anything you can think of?
Good one. So I think you saw the handpiece, right? And the way that it swivels in the 220 degrees. Even things like the length of the handpiece and how the tubing and the cables drape down your arm. It's fascinating to see in the OR how many ways surgeons will hold the handpiece and orient, and right-handed, left-handed. So just absorbing all of that and then making tweaks to the adjustment accordingly. Also on the foot pedal, right, across the world you have enormous variation in the size of feet and the size of people, how they interface with the equipment. Going through all those sizing and making sure that we can hit everybody who needs to use the equipment and make it comfortable, whether they're wearing shoes or socks or however they interface with our equipment, making sure it's comfortable for a full day of surgery.
That's great. And have you received any feedback you'd like to share about the Veritas so far?
It's been tremendous. So, when we get a new product in the market, it's kind of like our baby is going out there. Yeah. And it's been fantastic to hear the feedback from folks who are new to phaco, folks who have used phaco for decades, and how they're thrilled with the chamber stability and the ergonomics and just how it's making their surgery day easier and more comfortable. And then again, even things they didn't think about before, right? The swivel handpiece, the foot pedal, trying to make that easier. They'll come back to us and say, you know what, I didn't think I wanted a swivel handpiece, but now that I've used one in surgery for a day, wow, I've got to have that.
That's wonderful, gentlemen. Well, again, thanks for joining us here. We now have a Q&A session that we're excited about. We've been waiting for audience questions, and we have them here with us, so let's get right into that. All right, so, gentlemen, what new innovations can we expect from Johnson & Johnson Vision, and will Johnson & Johnson Vision be launching more products as innovative, even beyond Eyhance and Symphony? Who would like to take that one?
So maybe I'll start, and then these gentlemen can chime in.
Sure.
Yes, absolutely. We're excited about the innovation pipeline and portfolio. As I mentioned before, we're making heavy investments in things like our refractive side of our business. I talked about the next generation excimer, which that project is well underway. Also the Elita product, which is going to be coming very soon to Asia and to Europe, a little later to the US. Those are projects that are near term, but incredible amounts of money and time and research are being spent in clinical trials now on next generation IOLs. And so we're excited about those projects that are to come. I won't say too much about them. I'll just say we've received incredible feedback around Technis Eyhance. We understand that importance of monofocal plus beyond the monofocal to intermediate.
Yeah.
We also understand the real importance around extended depth of focus. And we want to take those technologies and marry them in a really meaningful way. And we can do that on this Technis brand that we've had for 21 years that our customers love so much. So thank you for being interested in our technology, and thanks for all you do for us as customers. But maybe you all have something you'd like to add.
Yes, so on the equipment side, right, it's all about, again, listening to the surgeon, getting that feedback, and the key pillars being, right, keeping the surgery safe, and making it even safer. Next generation techniques to make it completely stable, and then at the same time, making the surgery day quicker and easier. Quicker surgeries, get each done faster. That's a big part of it. And improving patient outcomes, right? That's what we're ultimately here for, is to send patients home with the vision of youth and the best vision they've ever had.
Maybe a message for our Asia Pacific customers, which I think is important. You asked about insights and how do we determine these things.
Right.
I'm really proud of the way that our teams are engaging with Asia. We have individuals that have worked in the countries within both Japan and China who are now physically coming and joining our global team. And they're at the table every day, every night, providing insights around what we need in those markets and in Asia Pacific more broadly. And those are the types of things that are really going to transform our ability to innovate beyond just a North American centered company to a global company inclusive of our Asia colleagues.
And to build on that, a lot of our pre-marketing clinical trial work is now happening in the Asia region. So for the Elita product, as you mentioned, done in India with some really strong KOLs, and then next generation PCIOLs has been done in other markets in Asia as well. So that's very much how we want to combine those insights with the science and R&D work. So,
fantastic. Well, next question, gentlemen. Kindly elaborate on how the Veritas stable chamber works. I think Adam, take it away.
Sure. Yeah. So it starts with the tubing system, right? So the connection from the eye into the pumping system. We actually have a dual durometer tubing that allows us to have a very comfortable tube as it drapes down your arm as you're doing surgery. But inside there's a stiff inner layer, and that stiff inner layer is what's keeping the chamber stable even at very high vacuum and flow rates. And that's what the surgeons really want, so they can get surgery done quickly without having the chamber bounce and collapse. We also have the advanced infusion system, so that allows you to pressurize the irrigation source to get even higher pressure in the eye if you want to go even higher in the outflow.
Fantastic. Now, does Veritas come with occlusion sensing technology like the White Star, the audience asks?
Yes, it does. So very much like our Signature Pro system, we also still have the occlusion mode in Veritas, and the system will sense that you've built vacuum at the tip and allow you to change parameters based on the detection of vacuum if you want to, for example, change ultrasound power or even your vacuum level in response to occlusion.
Intellectual question, so to speak. Is there a significant difference between the 40 centimeters and 33 centimeters Synergy versus most PC IOL lenses out there?
Yeah, I'm happy to take this one, and yeah, absolutely there is. And in fact, it's again comes back to insights, and a lot of that insight came from Asia. The need for nearer 33 centimeters. So, I mean, if you look at the way people interact with the world around them today, a lot of it's cell phone usage. And if you look at the average arm length, and there's good data on this, the average reading distance, it's around 33 centimetres. It's actually a little bit less for females. So if you combine that with things like in Asia, arm length, incidences of myopia, 33 centimetres is actually a really important factor when you're looking at trying to provide spectacle independence. So that's very much born out of insights often coming from Asian customers in terms of how we do our product development and next generation technology.
Fantastic. Going back to the Veritas, from a surgeon's perspective, gentlemen, how much learning curve is needed to be overcome in order to fully utilize its potential?
So from what I've seen in the field and talking to surgeons, it's a very quick learning curve. It's a very comfortable system to use. What I've heard is less than a day. So you get in there, you try Veritas, you might have done a demo here on Veritas, but the settings are very similar and familiar, and to get quickly using it, to take all the advantage of it, very fast.
The audience asked, during the booth demo, sustainability efforts were mentioned. Do those efforts extend to the clinic or clinical setting as well?
So it's a good question, and I think they should. I think in different geographies around the world, we're partnering and piloting with our customers in a really meaningful way. I'll just note one other thing, because we found out moments before we started. ESCRS here in Milan, where we are, we've taken great efforts to showcase what we've done in sustainability. Yeah. We've done that alongside the other exhibitors that are here, and we received the award. We won the award from ESCRS for most innovative around the sustainability efforts. But what I would love to ask of our customers is there are ways for us to partner together. We have already Dr. David Chang, who's a big leader in this space, Professor Oliver Findle, who's a big leader in this space. They are sitting on committees that are well organized now on a global basis and it's cross-industry represented. And we sit on that panel as well, and we're looking for places where we can help our customers and where we can help the industry overall. So as you have those ideas, please bring them to us, because we take them very seriously.
You heard Warren bring those ideas to the forefront. Christoph, what are Johnson Johnson Vision's plans to bring new technology to China, by the way?
To China, yeah, absolutely. So obviously the lead time to get new technology into China is quite long compared to other markets. But we've invested a lot actually in local clinical data generation and efforts to speed up those pathways. And for those in China, there's some new opportunities, the green channels through Hainan, for example. So recently we've launched Catalyst in China. It's doing exceptionally well, and that was the very first medical technology, not just in ophthalmology, but across all spaces, to go through that new green channel for innovative technology. And soon we will see that flow of new IOLs into China, products which other countries will already be familiar with, but Synergy, Eyhance, Toric 2, Simplicity. So there's a wealth of new innovation for our Chinese customers to look forward to, and it won't be too far along before we get it in your hands.
We've got time for one last question from our Zoom audience. In Eyhance, what should be the target refraction?
Yeah, I can maybe take this one. Look, our guidance is emmetropia. Obviously, I say that without the context of each individual clinical situation. Obviously, with a product like Eyhance, you've got a really large sweet spot or landing zone, so there's good tolerance for refractive error. But in general, our guidance would be emmetropia.
Gentlemen, it's been great hanging out here with you at the ESCRS. Would you like to have any final words, starting with Warren?
Listen, I just want to say thank you to you and your team. It's amazing what you've been able to do here. I think that you're bringing to life for our customers in Asia Pacific this experience. I wish you were here with us in person. I would love to see you in person. We want to do that, but thank you and your team for the accomplishment. Really well done.
Well, thank you so much, Warren. Christoph, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, it's been a wonderful Congress so far. So much exciting data to share, so much exciting new products to talk about, so many great colleagues to catch up with. Glad, thank you for joining, for those virtual, that we could share a little bit of the experience with you. And thank you, Matt, to you for hosting us today.
My pleasure. Adam, we've met recently, but yes. I would like to hear your thoughts too, good sir.
Oh yeah, so first off, thank you for your questions, and thank you for the attention. It's fantastic. The other thing I would say is, like Warren said, keep the feedback coming, keep the questions coming, unmet needs, all that kind of stuff, keep letting us know, because we're excited to innovate in the future.
Well, my friends, this has been a MICE Live and Johnson Johnson Vision live stream experience. We've done it here live from the show floor in the Lighthouse, here at the ESCRS in Milan, the fashion capital of the world. We've had a great time talking about innovation from IOLs to new phaco platforms. These gentlemen have amazing thoughts about here into the future. So once again, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, live stream audience, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Matt.